What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution, and I'm here to talk to you about the watch that no one talked about that was so damn good. And it is the Roger Dubuis Excalibur 42mm Monobalancier in grade 5 titanium. Boom! Okay, so before I get into why I love this watch so much, let's talk a little bit about Roger Dubuis. Roger Dubuis was set up in 1995 by a watchmaker named Roger Dubuis and a Portuguese entrepreneur named Carlos Dias. Previous to that, Roger Dubuis had spent 14 years in Patek Philippe, and in the 1950s, he had even worked at Longines. In fact, it is my belief that during the period that he worked at Longines, he was so affected by a Longines model called the 846 that it actually inspired him to create the Sympathy. And I'm going to show you those watches side by side right now. The other watch that he created was this watch right here, and that is the Homage H40 chronograph, a tribute to the François Bourgel chronograph watches of the 1950s. As you can see, it has a beautifully finished Lemania 2310 chronograph movement that has both the Geneva seal, and pay attention because that will come back into play later, and was also certified as a chronometer by the Observatoire at Besançon in France. Why is it so important that this movement has the Geneva seal? It's because at every single movement afterwards, which was created throughout the entire history of Roger Dubuis from here until here, will always have the Geneva seal. And this watch came from 1999, so would you imagine back then they dropped this watch, which was really a tribute to the mid-century dopeness of chronographs from that era, right?
It is, yes.
But can you imagine just 6 years later, they came up with a watch that looked almost like this. So when you go from that to that, I mean, it's like this cosmic leap, right?
It really is. To be honest, I have never thought that Roger Dubuis would take the leap of faith like 6 years later to create something like avant-garde like this.
You know, and the thing is, like, you know, I get it that collectors today all love this stuff. I absolutely adore it, but I also have to say that I love this watch as well. And in 2005, 6 years after that, they created the Roger Dubuis Double Tourbillon. And that was a revelation from a technical perspective because it was two tourbs with the rates averaged through a differential. But even more so aesthetically, that watch was insane because it introduced this hyper-contemporary skeletonization with this beautiful star-shaped bridge, but still Geneva seal, right? So the idea was, of course, like, okay, that watch was incredible, but it was a really expensive watch.
It is.
And could you take that same kind of like skeletonized dopeness and bring it into a more wearable watch at a slightly more accessible price point? Well, that's why they created this watch. What's so amazing about this watch? Let's break it down to 3 components. So the first one is visual richness. When you see this watch my wrist, it's almost like a mini universe beckoning you inside, and that is due to the fact that Roger Dubuis is the master of contemporary skeletonization, a skeletonized movement in a star shape that has all straight edges with hand beveling and that just sucks your eye into it. On top of that, you see 3 amazing circles in the watch. The first one is the barrel, which is at 5 o'clock, and it's skeletonized, so you can actually see the state of wind of your mainspring. If it's coiled tightly, your watch is fully wound. If the coils are slack, that means you need to wind it or put it on your wrist and let the movement of the micro rotor wind it. And the second thing is, of course, a micro rotor, which you see at 10 o'clock. And that is shifting around all the time to give you this wonderful dial side animation. Lastly, at 7 o'clock, you've got the balance wheel itself pulsating away, giving you the heartbeat of the watch.
This is a sick watch, man. You just look at the light play on this watch itself, it's insane.
But you know what's so dope about this watch is that it is so comfortable to wear. Like every surface of it, like from the crown to the sides of the case to the bezel, even to the bracelet, is like perfectly rendered. Even the ears of the deployant, which like on some watches, like it gets kind of sharp, they're really perfectly done. And in titanium, it's so effortless to wear, and it's so smooth and ergonomic to wear as well. It has actually become the watch equivalent of that incredibly comfortable pair of like pajamas and large t-shirt that I wear when I go back to my apartment to Netflix and chill. And I'm going to show you right now. No, I'm not joking. After a long day of work where I go around checking out different watches, this is the watch that I put on my wrist when it's time to Netflix and chill. It is the king of chillaxation.
I mean, we are not kidding, guys. We wear this watch a lot.
Dude, I wear this so often. And it's the watch that's gotten the most wrist time. In fact, I want to show you, I put together all these images of the different places that I've worn it, including a pig cafe in Tokyo and in Venice when I got engaged. Truly fantastic watch.
No doubt about it.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, cheers, man.
So Roger Dubuis, well done, guys.
Roger Dubuis, this is fantastic. You know, I really love this watch, to be honest.
We want to congratulate you for creating a truly dope watch.
Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Cheers, dude.
Congratulations, Wei. All right.